We've all been lied to for a minimum of 6,000 years. They don't know there's extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
Maybe we've got thousands.
Hi, I'm Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot, and I am here today with a very honored guest. This is Bill Tompkins, and he is a phenomenal individual and a very courageous individual. And it's rare when you get someone like this who will come forward and tell the truth.
Well, actually, it's to go back to 1942. Actually, for whatever reason, I was selected by some people in the Navy, Naval Intelligence, to essentially be assigned a program to discuss the U.S. Navy trying to understand the tremendously complicated agreement between the SS and the Draco reptilian group who were assisting Germany. So this had actually gotten started much earlier with a very lovely young lady in Germany who was contacted by Nordic people.
And this is Maria Orsich.
That's correct. And so she actually was doing this from like the late 20s, 1930s. But this young lady that we're talking about had been contacted by Nordic people to help her get an organization together with a great deal of extraterrestrial assistance to design a propulsion system, design a vehicle large enough to carry 40,000, 50,000 people, get in this vehicle and leave the planet. Now the SS was not aware of this. When they found out about this, they took over a group of 1,442 people, and it ended up in the studies that I got involved in with the information from the operatives Navy operatives coming back from Germany into Admiral Ricobata's secret conference room at the top building, Naval Air Station San Diego. He's commander, Naval Air Station San Diego. What it was that the agreement had actually been made with Hitler, the SS, and the Draco reptilian people.
Okay, but if this is happening in 41 or 42, the war is not over.
The war's still on. Many of them later on, even during the war and after the war, to leave the planet. Some of them went out and came back. They actually had large facilities that they utilized as in underground facilities in Antarctica. The Draco reptilian people had two enormous caverns. And I don't want to get off into that subject now. We can talk about it later. But there are caverns all over this planet which different extraterrestrial civilizations have been using,
yes,
okay, for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to the SS. What the operatives found was an unbelievable series of situations that literally, when they gave their briefings to Admiral Ricobata, the operative sat on the other side of the table. Admiral Ricobata sat here, I sat next to him. Essentially, all of these meetings, all of these disclosure meetings took place at night. But these operatives themselves didn't believe some of the information that they had to bring back, and so all they tried to do as best they could is present a package of some of the manuals were in hieroglyphics. All of the manuals were in German. Then they had photographs taken inside of research facilities in Germany. They had photographs of UFOs. They had photographs of maintenance people working on UFOs. They had photographs inside of the UFOs. So these operatives would bring back photographs of the different vehicles. They would bring back data, sometimes documents, all in German. And we then would take that information, and I had 11 or 12 young ladies who could take this information, what they called packages, which essentially were proposals. Okay? These proposals then were then to be disseminated around the United States in secret facilities, because Douglas got one of these packages. I personally took it to Santa Monica Douglas as one of the first of 4 top, not aerospace, aircraft companies, which became aerospace later on. Remember, everything that we're talking about here, I have to say people don't realize what took place in 1942 in the Naval Air Station at San Diego. This is unbelievable. They don't know there's extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
They don't know that there's not just one of them. Maybe we've got thousands, maybe we got billions of extraterrestrial. The latest number, just recently, we doubled the number again. We now have 200 trillion galaxies out there. And to say that we're the only intelligent people in this universe is naive. But we were, the people on this planet, were tremendously naive. They had no idea what these naval operatives brought back to what essentially was my delivering of these packages to the 4 top airplane companies. I flew to all the top secret facilities. Not one document that was given had classified in any way given to them. Everybody knew it was way above top secret.
Yes.
No document was stamped.
I hear you.
But it's an interesting way to handle the most classified subject on the planet.
Absolutely. Can I ask you one thing about these operatives who went into Germany to get this information? Did they, we know they were spies from your description, but so they were undercover, so to speak.
Yes.
And they must have seen the craft with their own eyes as well.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So in some cases they were working on the craft even.
They actually got on board, got inside.
All right.
They took photographs inside, stuck them in some place, and managed to be part of the package that was delivered to Admiral Kabata. The easiest way for me to say what I'm saying is my association with 3 Nordic people in Douglas on the Apollo program. Okay? I worked with these guys, 2 young ladies and 2 really good-looking Nordic guy.
All right.
Not just that, but she's always stuffing things in my head. So working with the 3 of them for 3.5 years on the Apollo program, what systems engineering really is, what controls the secret think tanks, okay? And it has every single block diagrams that are required to initiate that space program, okay? Every single one is in there. I took that system and defined the entire Apollo program and the missions. You see the Apollo vehicle, it's over in the corner, it's a little tiny thing. Then you see these great big things that are 10 times the size of Apollos, okay? Those are all trucks. They're trucks to haul up boring machines for the moon, to bore into the moon, to find areas where we can do our construction of a 10,000-man naval operation and research base on the moon. That's what our Apollo program first phase is. Not just go to the moon and pick up the rocks.
Yeah,
The Apollo program was to take us out into our solar system, build naval stations on every habitable planet or its moon, okay?
Right.
And then the next phase was to go to the 12 closest stars, Alpha Centauri being the first, put naval stations, bases on all of its planets.
I want to get to this idea that the Nordics are coming here. Mark said the same thing to me around the same time you're releasing this, and he said the Nordics want the humans to come up to speed militarily and in terms of consciousness, etc., so that they can join the fight against the reptilians and Dracos that are basically plundering the galaxies, taking over planets, etc. And you've said something very similar to that.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I'm just saying that this is our situation.
All right.
It's not just one or two people that are selected, okay? There's hundreds and hundreds of these people actually all over the planet. There's Russians too, and there's Chinese. And we are being used, we have been being used, and I hate to say this, but we're just a laboratory for them.
Yes. And our military is very aware of this. And so what they've been doing is funneling what we call black project money, billions, into building this secret space program.
Adding to that, you have Solar Warden. People don't believe that we have Solar Warden, okay?
I believe it, yeah.
Okay, but it is 8 Navy space battle groups with destroyers, cruisers, other vehicles, support vehicles, transports, trucks, all kinds of stuff. They're operating off of Nordic bases. So this is like a center
Right.
of information. Those guys control your planet, your moon, because your moon is a command center for this region of the galaxy. Not just the solar system, is a massive control center for this whole part of the Milky Way galaxy.
Okay, wow.
The Nordics contacted Forrestal. I'm saying this, you don't believe it, this is what happened. They contacted Forrestal and had Forrestal selected to initiate this whole thing in the U.S. Navy. Then Forrestal selects an Australian man, 2-star Admiral Rick Abada. Listen to what I'm saying. Secretary of the Navy Forrestal selected a man who never went